There's a new street fighter on your windowsill. The weapon is peace, the word is chill.
Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest, punched myself in the face there, action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and get ready for your daily dose of the nerdy news that you need to know about. Can you tell I've been drinking? It's alright, it's a Friday, and I'm drinking Brewdog Layer Cake Marshmallow and Chocolate Stout. I don't know if it's nice or disgusting, but we're gonna find out. So, folks, there is a lot to talk about, so let's not stand on ceremony, Mr. Wayne. We'll get to it, but first, check out this. Can you see here? Do you see? This is my Hellfire Club, Bullet Club adjacent t-shirt, which was a gift from one of my Ultimate Good Brothers, Cinevista, Patreon supporter. So one of the people who is actually responsible for these shows coming to you, he made me this awesome Hellfire Club t-shirt. If you like what you're looking at, and I know you do, then you can go over to his t-shirt printing page thing. I just whiffed on the name, but the link is in the description below. So go and check out some of his stuff, and then once you're done doing that, go over to my Patreon and become a supporter just like him. It makes you do awesome things, like send me free stuff. Why wouldn't you want to do it? While you're pondering that question, I'll get started on the news. So first up, guys, this is the big story, well, big for me anyway, and that is that the Venom 2 end credits scene has been spoiled online. And this is like spoiled, because if someone posts an article or makes a video about it and it says, Venom 2, end credits, spoiler explained, watch it if you want to. You know what? I'm fine with that. It's kind of what I'm doing. I'm like, hey, the info's here, watch it if you'd like. What I don't do is put a picture of the spoiler in my thumbnail. Because that's what a lot of people did. So I just logged onto Facebook the other day, and lo and behold, I suddenly know exactly what's happening at the end of Venom 2. So thanks for that. Another reason why the human race ensures that we can't have nice things. But look, I don't actually mind. I'm not actually mad. You know what, person who posted that? I'm actually grateful. You know why? Because I was on the fence about wanting to see Venom 2. I wasn't excited for it, to be honest. Everything that I've seen about it makes me think, this is just a slightly better version of the original, which would still probably make it a bad film. So now that I've seen this post-credit sequence, and when watching it, we got our dose of Venom and Tom Hardy and all that jazz. Oh yeah, like, that's not a spoiler. Like, you don't think Venom's gonna die. All right, so so spoiler, he's in it, and just watching it, I was like, this is annoying me. Hearing this voice, seeing this performance is annoying me. I don't want to go and watch this film. So I might have to wait until it comes out on whatever streaming service carries it, and then I'll go and watch it there, because I was like, well, there's no surprises anymore, so and when I say no surprises, okay, yeah, there might be other things like in the film, but at the same time, it's not enough to draw me in and make me want to watch it. So Venom 2, there you go. And the a-holes, and not even adorable Star-Lord type a-holes, but just straight up a-holes who posted the spoiler thumbnails on YouTube, thanks for saving me $5 in gas, $10 in a cinema ticket, and an entire evening of watching a film that I probably wasn't that fussed about anyway. So that was my first piece of, wow, I think that was the first piece of not good news. But there you go. So now we've got that out of the way, let's move on to the real good news. First up, McFarlane Toys have given preview pictures of their new Witcher figures. And I'm not a big Witcher guy. I tried getting into the game, but it was just too big for me. There was too much. I need to be funneled more. But these figures look like your typical kind of McFarlane quality. If you like McFarlane, then great. And if you don't, then really, come on, what's your problem? Seriously, the guy's working hard. But no, these figures look fine. It's The Witcher, looking pretty witchery. I mean, that's kind of what you would expect. And there's this bard guy who, I don't know, Jakia, I think his name is. He looks like a bit of a diddler, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, he looks fine. I think he is like his sidekick in the TV show. I haven't seen the TV show. Right now I'm trying to get through Squid Game, which I'm thoroughly enjoying, but it's just a case of finding the time. You know what I'm saying? Money don't grow on trees. But still, these figures look kind of cool. So you've got the Witcher, you've got the Bard. I suppose that's the main point to make, is that, yeah, these are not the game versions. These are the TV show versions. This is the Henry Cavill version. And this is the Henry Cavill TV show version of his diddler Bard, if that's what the character is. But also, more interestingly, there's this freaky, creepy spider lady. Her name is Kikimora, which sounds kind of Japanesey, doesn't it? That's kind of like an Anansi kind of spidery sort of name. Kikimora, I'm sure it must mean something. But either way, this looks really cool. I saw that and instantly I thought, well, that's a cheaper Shadow King custom than the Gremlin Spider, so some folks might want to think about that. If you've got the Kingpin torso and the Shadow King head, maybe whack that on top of the spider legs. That would look pretty awesome. But even if you don't do that, if you're just into The Witcher, these figures look pretty cool, so here are the details. These figures are 7-inch scale and inspired by the TV show. Geralt and Jaskier have a price of about $30 and Kikimora is about $40. Pre-orders list these as November releases. And guys, of course, as always, or most of the time at least, this information, or most of it, comes from toyark.com. So go check out Toyark for your toy information. This isn't any kind of sponsorship thing. This is just me feeling bad for reading all their information and then just regurgitating it back to you. But hey, look, different people have to go for their different strengths. They couldn't present a daily news channel on YouTube, and I couldn't do what they... Well, actually, I probably could do what they do, to be honest. I'm a very talented person. Next up, Iqonic Studios have shown us pictures of the new Ryu figure. Remember a few weeks back, or even a few days back, I lose track, I told you about a preview image that Iqonic Studios showed. It was just a very little sort of glimpse, kind of sneak peek of what was obviously a Ryu figure, or a Ryu figure. That's it, gotta get that into the old brain box there. And it looked interesting, but didn't really reveal much. Well, this reveals all of it, and he looks beautiful. It's lucky for me that he's only 1/6 scale, because that's just outside of my scale parameter of what I want. I'm a 1/12 kind of guy. I'm sure many of you are as well. That's just where our bread is buttered. That's the action figure size that just hits the nostalgia veins like black tar weapons grade plutonium nostalgia, you know? But that's kind of what I'm after, so 1/6 is more Hot Toys kind of size. And so I can be like, okay, that's an easy pass for me because I don't need that size. But at the same time, this dude looks beautiful. Like full on straight out of Street Fighter V. They just did the whole Tron thing but backwards. They scanned it and just made it happen in the real world. He looks awesome. Oh my god. If they made a 1/12 scale size, my brain couldn't decide if I wanted to say size or scale. Scale? If they made a 1/12 scale figure, I still couldn't decide, then that would look amazing and I would buy it in a heartbeat because he does look fantastic. He's out of my price range because he retails for like $289. So that's a spicy meatball right there, but you can see where the money has gone. And also he comes out, or is expected to be released, in the third quarter of 2022. And speaking of Hot Toys and Sideshow collectibles not wanting to be outdone, they have released images of their new Carnage figure from Venom 2 Let There to Be Carnage. I can't drink and do this. I'm going to say that to the producer from now on. I won't do it. That's also why I won't do 2 shows in one night. I won't do it. So this figure, again, just it's Hot Toys Carnage. It's beautiful. I mean, what more do you want me to say? I mean, what are you asking of me? What more can I add to this? And then it is a Hot Toys figure. It looks insanely stunning, and it has a price tag to match, I would imagine. But we don't have that yet. But still, he has numerous points of articulation, a bajillion different accessories, and he just looks kind of incredible. And you can see paired up with their Hot Toys Venom as well, it looks ludicrous. Possibly the best thing to come out of the movie. I'm just calling it now. But the thing is, pronouncing it with an F like that, what is the matter with you, Dave? Again, it's Hot Toy scale, it's not really what I'm personally after, but it does just look really beautiful. It looks stunning, it's a great looking Carnage. If you're just a 1/6 scale size collector, he'll happily go with anything from there. Throw him next to a No Way Home Spider-Man or an Iron Man, you've got your Marvel Universe. Easy, easy, easy. Looks so cool. You know, we're about a year out from September 2022, so that'll give you enough time, hopefully, to save $900. Why do you need that? Well, because Sideshow are releasing their General Grievous statue, and this thing looks ginormous and crazy awesome. General Grievous is one of the kind of annoying things from the Star Wars prequels that, like, he's really cool. It's like, what are you doing in these terrible movies? Especially if you saw the Grendy Trarovsky, you know what I'm trying to say. If you saw his animated Clone Wars shorts, you see how badass General Grievous really should be. And this figure totally seems to capture that. It's funny, depending on his depiction, he's either like a terrifying psycho cyborg mass killing machine or a robot chicken. It's like one of the two. Robot chicken with asthma. But still, this figure, it harkens back to like the awesome, badass General Grievous. So if you're into your Star Wars, if you're into your prequel trilogy, and I accept that some folks are, you don't know any better. You were born in the early 2000s. You don't understand. You don't get how important the original stuff was, and it's okay. I don't resent you for it. I'm happy you could enjoy it. But if you can really enjoy it, then you can enjoy it $900 worth with this pretty impressive looking statue.
Well, you know something, Mean Gene? If I was ever decorating my new house, what I would have to make sure of is that I had a Hulk Hogan statue, brother.
That's my Hulk Hogan impression. But you don't need me to do a Hulk Hogan impression when you can just have a Hulk Hogan statue in your house. Why would you want that? Goodness only knows, but there you are. And hey, look, this is coming from a dyed-in-the-wool 1980s Hulkamaniac. Alright, I grew up loving Hulk Hogan. And then when I grew up and he grew up, we definitely grew apart. And now as a 40-year-old man, I'm like, I definitely don't want to immortalize you in my home, but some folks might want to, and if you do, then you can get your hands on this premium format statue, which I gotta say, like, it looks impressive. Would I want it? Oh my lord, no. But if you're obsessed with Hulk Hogan, then this is exactly what you're gonna be after.
I hear you're a racist now, father. What? How did you get interested in that type of thing? Who said I'm a racist? Everyone's saying it, father. Should we all be racist now? What's the official line the church is taking on this?
Now let's go to a statue I'm actually more interested in, and this is the Iron Studios Scarlet Witch statue. And this does look kind of cool. Again, I'm not a statue guy, but I appreciate a nice statue. And this is obviously taken... Obviously, duh, like, as if you don't know, taken from, like, the final scene of WandaVision, or the almost final scene. I'm not sure what the exact final scene was. We've had a lot of media since then. But it's Wanda, sitting cross-legged, doing all of her magic stuff, reading her spells. It looks very, very cool. I'm not going to wax lyrical too much, because you can see the pictures. But let me tell you some more info. Sideshow has a pre-order for a new WandaVision Scarlet Witch statue from Iron Studios. The statue is 1/10 scale, standing almost 9.5 inches tall. It's priced at $210 and will be released October 2022. Just when you think Hot Toys have run out of ideas for Iron Man suits, they come up with a whole new concept. Tony Stark in the mid-process of armoring up. It seems like a funny kind of direction to go in, but hey, if you've covered every single Iron Man armor of the entire house party, it's time to start getting more creative. And I gotta say, in fairness, I'm glancing down to see my notes, this is the Silver Centurion Iron Man armor going onto Tony Stark, and it actually looks really quite cool. I don't think you could get away with doing this for every single armor, but just as an example of an armor forming around Tony, it works. It looks really awesome. So if you're into Sideshow collectibles, then this could be a really worthy addition to your Hall of Armor, because I know a lot of people, you know, rich people, who I in no way resent, but I totally do, have like an entire Hot Toys Hall of Armor display, and if you do, then if you want to, you could have Tony Stark in the middle, armoring up, right, with them all around you. I mean, come on, it's selling itself, so why do I need to do that? Let me just give you some details. This armor is set to be released in the first or second quarter of 2023, and as of right now, it's looking to be priced at approximately $499.99, or just call it $500. I mean, come on, the 1 cent is a price rhetoric. We all know this. SH Figuarts, or Figuarts, or however it's kind of like supposed to be pronounced, have shown a new movie Deadpool figure. And this is a brand, a line, a make of figures that I've never actually dealt with before in hand. People have been saying, oh man, you gotta get onto some of those. And I'm like, I'm not convinced, but at the same time, I haven't had them firsthand, so I don't know. I mean, they look cool, they look good, but nothing that makes me think like, oh, I do declare. But this looks totally like, you know, I was gonna say Venom, like Deadpool from the Deadpool movie. So if by some miracle you're an MCU collector who doesn't have a Deadpool figure, then this would absolutely fill that void. I mean, I think the Marvel Legends one looks pretty cool. But still, this one is more expensive, but I'm guessing there is more to it. But until I've really played around with one in hand, I can't kind of comment personally. But again, also, guys, you know me. I'm not an MCU guy. I'm a 616 guy. See, not even comics in general, just 616. Put my trousers on one leg at a time. I like my toast buttered with jam, and I like my 616 universe exclusive to that. Otherwise, things just get crazy and I buy everything. But if you're into Deadpool and you need this figure, well, by Jove, it's coming out soon. Here are the details. This figure will stand at just over 6 inches tall, and pre-orders have not gone live yet, so we don't have an official release date, but he should retail for approximately $70. And finally, on the toy/statue front, we have some new WWE reveals as well. First of all, we have Jake the Snake Roberts. I mean, I'm so happy for that dude, because he must be just living pretty, or sitting pretty, off of the residuals of his action figures. I think he's one of the most action figurable people out there, and there are 2 new ones, which are essentially repaints. It's just different gear, but it's cool looking gear. Being the early 90s wrestling nerd that I am, I can instantly tell you the blue one is Jake in his cobra biting Randy Savage phase, and the grey one is the coal miner's glove, cup of coffee in WCW, really not doing too well if we're being honest, era of Jake. So there are 2 Jake the Snakes, but also there is a cowboy ace Bob Orton as well. A guy who's really famous for just being in Roddy Piper's corner at WrestleMania 1. Okay, Bob Orton fans, quiet, don't shout me down saying like, oh, well, he had this match in the Boston Gardens at blah, blah, blah. I don't care. And then finally we have, what's a funny choice? We have to be honest, on his way out, Hurricane. This is Gregory Helms' Hurricane when he was like in the dying days of his WWE, I think it was WWE by that point, contract, where he's got all scraggly and homeless looking. And it's funny that with the Jake in his WCW guys and the Hurricane at the end of his career guys, it very much is like the wave of guys whose careers are not going the way they should be. But still, they look kind of cool, and if you're into WWE, then you could probably buy these figures then. Going over to TV news, we've had some pictures of the lady who plays, Jameelia, that's her name, Jameelia something or other. This is a good news show. Jameelia something or other, who plays Titania on the new She-Hulk show, has shown pictures. Gosh, this is a bit of a she-shells down by the she-shore She-Hulk type tongue twister. but we've seen pictures of her as Titania, or she's posted a couple of tweets, and she's got like the full-on orange hair, and she looks the business. Obviously, she's not jacked up like Titania is, and that's something that I'm like a little bit hesitant on. I hate the idea of characters who are supposed to be like super soldier, big and muscly, being just portrayed by like average folks, and having people say lines like, oh, well, you know, that's something I hated in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where they're like, yeah, we've perfected the super soldier serum, so you get all the benefits without being all big and bulky. And it's like, wow, that's super lazy, guys, because that just takes all the fun out of it. That's not comic booky. And I really like the Jameelia. I want to say Jameelia. I might be wrong. I think she's called Jameelia. But I really like that actress. I thought she was great in The Good Place. I'm sure she'll be an awesome Titania, but I wish that they would like go the CGI route with her when she gets big and gets Titania-ish. And I'm guessing she's not. I'm kind of calling it here and now. I bet you she's going to look like a regular, normal human being, but she is super strong. And that just reeks of like early 90s, zero budget, Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman type thing, where it's like, this person is as strong as Superman, but they look like a normal person. What? So that's going to be a disappointment. But then again, apparently, you know, we do have the Abomination in this show, and there's also pictures of Mark Ruffalo with all his dots and motion capture stuff. So we're going to have Hulk in this too. So they've got the budget. It's just whether or not they do it. I would love to see Jameelia with all of her orange hair and stuff do the motion capture for a CGI Roidy Magoo version of Titania. I don't think we're going to see that. But anyway, time will tell. Either way, I'm really interested to watch the show. And finally, just a little tidbit to end off with, we have a promo poster picture of the Book of Boba and a release date as well. So we've got something new to look forward to, which is great because What If has come to an end, and whew, what an ending as well. Well, actually, no, we've got one more episode, but still, it's building up to a decent ending. I'm really enjoying What If, but then it's like, well, what comes next? Okay, I'm going to finish Squid Game, but then we can roll on into Book of Boba, and I think this will probably be good fun. I kind of wish that when they'd reintroduced Boba Fett, they'd done like a kind of a retcon where they'd been like, oh yeah, I'm not actually a clone. I'm some other guy who killed that clone kid and then took the identity, excuse me, put my teeth in, and took the identity of Boba Fett. So I actually am an interesting character and not just one of 10 billion other clones. But there you go. That's a rant for another time. Anyway, guys, this is the end of good news for this Friday. I will never, ever, ever drink and do news reports again. This was a terrible show, but I hope you enjoyed it in some way or regard. Also, marshmallow-flavored beer? No, pass. But guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this somehow and you want us to support the channel, you can go over to patreon.com/displaying model behavior, just like these guys did, and you can enjoy all the bonus videos and exclusive content over on there, including the Legends Legacy review, which I'm doing a new episode of this weekend, and I will start updating more often so that you actually have a reason to go over to the Patreon besides just giving me money, which, don't get me wrong, as far as I'm concerned, is a good enough reason in and of itself. So guys, thanks very much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Chill. Yeah. Cup of coffee.